So I heard that you're in need of some live recorded indie drums, but maybe you're having a hard time finding good high quality samples. Maybe you don't have a drum kit or you can't play drums yourself. Well, I have good news for you, because my brand new lo-fi indie drum pack is finally available now. I'm super proud of this drum kit. It's by far the best kit that I've ever made. I've been working on it, recording drums for probably like the past 5 or 6 months now, and the drum kit contains over 100 live recorded drum samples that are perfect for any type of indie music genre, and really a ton of other genres that you might need some live drums for. There are 48 drum loops, 22 drum fills, and 37 individual drum one-shot sounds of various types, and the whole thing is only $19.99, so feel free to go check it out. It is available on shopfeezo.com, and it's available on TrackTrain as well. Links will be in the description below. So for this video here today, I'm just going to walk you guys through the kit, show you guys some of the sounds that are in there. I'm going to also show you how I recorded some of the sounds, and at the end, we'll make a little beat with this thing. So let's do it. So here is the drum kit. Nothing fancy. There's 3 main folders. Drum fills, the drum loops folder, which is the largest folder, and then inside the one-shot folder there are individual folders for each type of drum sound. All of the files are high quality WAV files, and they will work with any DAW that you're using. Another great thing about these drum loops is that they are tempo synced, so they'll match with whatever your project tempo is. As you can see, the project tempo is 140, but if I drag this 130 drum loop in, it's going to basically fit itself to the grid. But yeah, so let me play you a few of my favorite samples here. I really like this one because I was able to get a really good hi-hat sound. Also, I should mention that with most of these drum loops, I ended off with a fill anyway, so you're probably honestly getting closer to like 65-ish fills in here. I also love this one right here because of the way the ride cymbal sounds. Basically, I have kind of like some tape or cassette wobble on there, and that gives the ride kind of that wobbly sound in the high end, which I think is really cool. This next sample has one of the best snare sounds that I've probably ever recorded. That is just the crispiest snare. If I could get my snare to sound like that every time on a track, I definitely would. For me, that snare right there is like the ideal snare sound. Here's another one with a really nice snare sound. And then lastly, I'll show you this one right here, which I was kind of going for like a duster type vibe, and I think I achieved that pretty well here. So there you have just a little taste of the drum loops that are in here. That's only a fraction of what's there. All the one-shot samples are going to sound very similar to what you hear in those loops as well. And yes, the snare that I was talking about, the one that's like my ideal snare sound, is in the one-shots as well. I would honestly say there's a few of them in there. The snare one-shots in this kit are really good. But yeah, so now at this point, I think I should walk you guys through a little bit, just a small little taste of my drum recording process, so you can kind of see what went into actually creating this drum kit. So this right here is my drum kit. It's the one that I used on all of these samples. And as you can see, there's a lot of cables and a lot of microphones and a lot of things going on here. There were some samples where I used up to 8 microphones on a single recording. Some of them had like 5 or 6, but I would say every single sample has at least 3 main microphones. That is the kick mic, a bottom snare mic, and a top snare mic. As you can see right next to my head, there is an overhead microphone, which is actually an SM57. I used to use that on the snare top, but now I actually use a Beyerdynamic M201 microphone, which is incredible. As you can see, I also have tom mics. There's one here on the rack tom and one on the floor tom over there as well. Naturally, those are only being used if I'm doing a fill on the toms. And this microphone that I have in my hands right here is kind of the wildcard microphone. On some recordings, I just kind of used it as a room mic and just placed it over there. On some recordings, I used it as an overhead. Sometimes I used it as a second kick mic. It just depends on what I was feeling and what I felt like that sample needed. Each of those microphones just runs directly into my Behringer UMC 1820, I think it's called, and I record everything using FL Studio. I've actually done a full in-depth tutorial on both mixing and recording drums for FL Studio. If you want to check that out, you can go right up here. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it as far as the whole process for recording this drum kit. And now I think really the only thing left to do is just make a little beat here. One of the wonderful things about my lo-fi indie drum pack is just how easy it makes it for you to get inspired. For example, I could just drag this loop right in here. Just like that, we got some drums. Now all I need to do is come up with some sort of guitar thing on this. I kind of like that. This thing stays in tune pretty perfectly. Gotta respect that. That's cool. Okay, I think I'm gonna play that same thing on electric guitar now. Okay, this one needs to be tuned for sure. Surprisingly more in tune than I thought it would be. That works. Let's see if we can get a little lead guitar up in there. That should be fine. That'll suffice, I think. That's cool. I like that. Okay, I think we're good with guitars. Now it's bass time. Time for bass. Get up here. Hello. Here you are. Now you're with me. That was good. I like that. Honestly, now is a pretty good time to talk about the fact that doing this drum kit and working on it for the past few months has actually made me a lot better of a drummer. I feel like I'm actually way more confident in my drumming abilities now. Being a drummer and practicing drumming helps with all of your other instrument abilities as well. I feel like all of my instruments are so much more in time now every time I record them. And also my bass playing has gotten a lot better as well. I used to always be like, I'm not a very good bass player, I'm not a very good drummer, but now I'm still not very good at either of those things, but I'm a little bit better, and I'm pretty proud of it. But come on, you guys already know what was coming next here. All this talk about, oh, I'm not a very good drummer, not a very good bassist. Well, there's one thing I am very good at. Some would say the best at. Some would say the best west of the Mississippi. And Mississippi spelled wrong. First try, every time. I'm just the best shaker player ever created. As you can see, right, I can hear my voice. That's a little weird. As you can see, the beat making process becomes incredibly quick once you have feezo's lo-fi indie drum pack. Jokes aside though, that did actually make the whole beat making process quite a bit easier for me. Really all I have to do now with this track is just lay it all out and mix it and everything. I might also go in there and add a couple little synth sounds and maybe some strings or something. But I actually really like this beat a lot, and it was all thanks to my lo-fi indie drum pack, which is available right now on shopfeezo.com for only $19.99, link in the description. Anyways, that is pretty much going to do it for me in this video here today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, even though this wasn't a riveting video where I do a bunch of crazy, wild stuff. I actually am just really excited and really proud of this drum kit and all the work that I put into it in order to bring forth these epic, awesome samples for you guys. I already know you guys are going to be making some awesome music, some awesome beats with this kit. Also, another small announcement. You may have noticed the awesome shirt that I'm wearing, which actually is not available yet, but it is related because me and Coleman actually just started a podcast on SoundLodge where we take your guys' music questions and just sit down and answer them, and it's a lot of fun. Definitely go check that out. I will leave a link in the description below. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate each and every single one of you. You guys are awesome. Stay safe out there, and I will see you all next time.